Robots, episode 59. We released the new episode of our new cartoon series. I did all the drawings. And it shows. Thank you. How's the response so far? So far, so okay. We weren't set on fire, so that's pretty good. But, hey, it's just the first episode, so there's still a bit to see where things go. I'm doodling now. Josie.
What?
Make sure Pilz-E keeps working.
Will do. Pilz-E?
Hi.
Get back to work.
Good job. Anyway, while Pilz-E was goofing off doodling, I got to play Taxi Chaos, the alleged spiritual successor to Crazy Taxi. Oh, is that any good? Alright. There's good and there's bad. Alright. Oh. The good. The controls are pretty tight, actually. So, that's pretty good. The bad. Yo, the soundtrack is dreadful. Okay? So no, Bad Religion or Offspring type punk music like the original Crazy Taxi. No, it's like canned electronic music. And, it's bad. Like, Pilz-E can make better music. Bad. And I did! I made an album! Yeah, I know.
Back to work.
Sorry, boss. The other downside of the game, the city, which is supposed to be New York City, is it's dreadfully bland. Prior to the re-release of Crazy Taxi, as small as that map was, there are actual landmarks, and if I remember correctly, you literally could drive people to Tower Records and Pizza Hut. And as annoying as branding in games is, stuff like that does breathe life into a city. And New York, if nothing else, is covered in ads. The devs, quite literally, could have done product placement in that game and no one would have flinched. But, there's nothing to look at in the city. There is nothing. There's no ads. There's no stores. There's this eyesore of a ramen place that does not exist in New York. And yeah, fine. You had a structural arch from Union Square, okay? That's it. And Times Square, yo, please. Another thing, the passengers are fairly annoying and safe in their dialogue. I live in New York, okay? Do you know how many people I've met with Minnesota accents? None. Zero. Why is every other passenger I pick up from Minnesota? Right? Why? And I get it. Fine, it's an indie dev. It could use a little work. But if you want to play it, cue up your own soundtrack, mute the canned music, and just drive fast, okay? Well, is this on PC? Oh, dude, I have no idea. I just bought it on Xbox because I had a bunch of Microsoft points I earned through their search engine nonsense. How's that work again? God. Basically, if you have a Microsoft account, you can sign up for Microsoft Rewards and just follow the daily tasks. Takes 5 minutes a day if you're quick, and not for nothing, I think collectively, over the years, I've redeemed a couple of $100 in rewards, And I just put that towards games I really don't want to pay full price for. Nice. Seriously, I generally don't have a lot of time to play games, and when I do, I ain't paying full price for them. And no, this is not a sponsored segment. We don't do that here, okay? I'm just letting you know there's free money out there. It's like when you have Amazon Prime and you have a Twitch Prime subscription, or they call it Twitch Gaming now. You can literally subscribe to somebody for free on Twitch and support a streamer. Anyone. It's free money. Don't let Bezos keep that, okay? Find a channel you like and support it. Yeah, I'll go re-up my sub is what I'll do. I wanted to play this one game where you're this knight thing and you have a sword and you build things and monsters. What, Valheim? That's the one! Yeah, look, you can't play games anymore, okay? You're an animator. But I like games.
Get back to work.
I'm working here, boss! I'm working! Sorry. So yeah, Taxi Chaos. Again, just mute the soundtrack and dialogue, make your own custom playlist, and just drive around in a slightly less effective version of Crazy Taxi. Well, here's the thing, Crazy Taxi was this, huge game, and, the Simpsons kind of made their road rage thing and stuff, and, it's nobody really made a good taxi game after that, But, then there's this one, right, it's alright, but, what else is out there? Oh, dude, no, I actually looked into that. For those who do like Crazy Taxi-like games, there's one coming out called Mile High Taxi, which actually looks interesting, because it's like a Crazy Taxi game in a Fifth Element flying car type environment, which, on paper, sounds kinda cool. Boy, that does sound kinda cool. Yeah, well, so did Taxi Chaos, but here we are. Also, Taxi Simulator might be fun to play. But, I kind of like those simulator series games they have on Steam. I have no idea why. They're like jank and weird, but they have a certain charming goofiness about them. So, should I not buy Taxi Chaos? Dude, I don't know. It kind of depends. I mean, I think a lot of people who haven't played a Crazy Taxi game may appreciate it, but I kind of grew up on Crazy Taxi, okay? So, for me, it's like, I can't do a watered-down version of it, Like, I want my surly drivers. I want my insane passengers. I actually want broken physics, okay? And most importantly, an awesome soundtrack. It's so important. You have no idea how many quarters I blew on Crazy Taxi in arcades just so I can hear the music, okay? Soundtrack is important. That soundtrack was really impressive for its time. Again, look, I know the Taxi Chaos devs are a small team with a small budget, but I really hope that maybe they source some music from the community, Like, that's what I would have done, frankly. Just get music from any and all musicians who just want exposure. Make sure they're credited on screen when the song plays, and make that game that much more immersive, okay? Oh, that's a pretty good idea. So, hey, for anyone who wants the devs to improve that game, send them a text or something and be like, yo, community-sourced soundtrack. Why not? What else are you doing with music? Nobody pays you for your art anyway. Oh, God, and toss in some billboards, okay? Trust me, no one is going to notice, and it actually enhances a city's environment. I can't fall down the steps without seeing an ad in New York. They are literally on the steps.
Stop falling downstairs and get back to work.
Yes, ma'am. All right, other than that, let's see. Oh, I managed to get through some music. So, let's see, new Foo Fighters album. Oh, how was that? Foo Fighters have been kind of hit or miss for me for the last couple of albums. For me, the last album I really liked was Wasted Light. Pretty much one of their top 3 albums easy for my taste. New one, I really think that out of all the bands from the 90s, the most consistent one has been Green Day. Of all things. I mean, people were like, oh, Green Day, pop punk, and here we are, like, 30 years on, and they're all like, oh, I still make good music. Dude, yeah, it is kind of crazy. But, speaking of the 90s, Anita Franco re-released her solo debut album, which apparently was remastered, and didn't need to be. Oh, I'm really iffy about remasters, mate. Like, I felt the Pixie albums didn't need them, but Pearl Jam's 10 was actually done well, as was the Foo Fighters Colours and the Shape album. Kind of widened the sound a bit. It was nice. All right. But Nirvana's In Utero was a bloody mess, man. Burn it! Burn it!
Get back to work.
Ow! See, the sad thing about the Anita Franco album is it's an album I know fairly well. And, when I hear clipping in something that was supposedly remastered, it's just sad, okay? It really bothers me. I've said this before. An album is a recording of a particular time and space, and that should be preserved. If you want to remaster your work, fine. But I think it's a good idea to release both the original and remastered versions in a single set. Because, the original versions are now going to be impossible to find, especially on streaming services. Oh, like those Megadeth albums, right? Like Dave remastered all of them, and everything before Peace Sales was done really well, and everything after wasn't. What happened, Dave? Did you get tired? Yeah, and that's why I have both versions of those albums. But anyway, it seems to be this trend since the late 90s, and there are bands out there from the 90s re-recording their greatest hits. Like Sponge re-recorded their song Plowed. Yes, it was a thing. But it's not the same song. People love the original. Leave it alone. And I understand the business of it. You may not own the master of that song, so you ain't making jack from it, okay? I get that. You want to make your own version, put it out there so you get the views, you get the listens, you get the plays, you get the money. I get it. But you're also altering history. That's freaking scary, okay? Keep that in mind. But anyway, whatever. People are just going to keep remastering everything, brick the audio, and just make it loud, and who cares about the past? Yeah, it is kind of sad, mate. Whatever. But, so, after those albums, I decided to travel down the route of J-Rock. Finally, something I actually care about. You've been prattling on about all this non-stuff, and here we are. All right, come on. Tell me what you listen to. Enlighten me with your J-Rock endeavors. Yeah, speaking of weird things you're interested in, remind me to tell you about the anime that has to do with water sports and butts. Wait, what? Tell me now! Dude, we're talking about J-Rock, right? Tell me! God, alright. I think it's called Kaijo, or it's also known as Hip Whip Girl. Apparently it's about sports players who fight each other on a raft using only their butts or boobs for contact in an effort to knock out the other opponent. This exists. Yeah, apparently, I kind of assumed you just knew about it. Wait, what are you doing? I'm adding the Blu-ray to my wish list, you git! Of course I'm gonna add. What are you, mad? I want this now, okay? Hey, look, it's only like $24. I can buy this myself. No. Come on, why are you in charge of all the monies? Because I'm responsible with it. Whatever. And here's the thing, I had no idea how did this get past my radar. You know, I'm always like, oh, my waifu radar is like constantly going bloop, bloop, bloop. And this one, yeah, it just went right past me. And you know, frankly, the premise for a sport seems ingenious in my mind, alright? If we made this an Olympic sport, alright? This would be great. Okay, I would watch and the viewership would skyrocket. Japan, make this happen! The Kaijo Olympics! Dude, it's not gonna happen. The world is way too PC. Or at least they like to give that impression. They're not. They're just lying. Because, you know, they go home and do stuff anyway, just like everybody else. Well, alright, at the very least, they should make it a fighting game, you know? Like the developer Exceed, right? Like, they should be all over this. You know, what are you doing? You know, you already got your Senran Kagura, you got your Kendagawa girls, which is also getting a Blu-ray release, which is kind of pricey, so I'm not buying it. Okay? Maybe I'll add it to my wish list, but it's super expensive. But no, yes, Exceed, Kaijo Water Sport Fighter, and take my money. Dude, you don't even know what the story is. No, dude, I'm sure there's plot, alright? That's all I need. You give me an anime with a lot of plot, and I'm there, you know? Story be damned, I'm there for the plot. What? Never mind. Anyway, can we get back to J-Rock? Alright, please do. I dug through Spotify, and they finally got albums by the band Mutant Monster, a J-Rock band that kind of sounds like Stereo Pony in a way. So after listening to that, I went down the rabbit hole of other J-Rock bands, and a notable one was Mary's Blood. Kind of a more aggressive version of Stereo Pony with a deeper female vocalist. It's pretty good, but I didn't get a chance to listen to a lot of it because all I wanted to do was go back and listen to some more Stereo Pony. So I decided to track down whatever. A-I-M-I. I'm terrible at Japanese and can't even pronounce simple names. Amy. Whatever. Sorry. Basically, the lead singer of Stereo Pony has some solo stuff out. It's a little bit more poppy than what I'm used to, but still listenable. And on a side note, for those who actually like Stereo Pony, if you go to their Spotify discography, they actually have some singles I have not seen in a long time. You know, and a lot of these singles have alternate versions, acoustic versions. There's a very good acoustic version of a song I cannot pronounce, but it's constantly on my playlist. It's like one of the two songs. It's the slower of the two songs everyone knows. I don't know the name. Whatever. And on the topic of music, Metallica. Ow, they make beep bop boop music now.
Back to work.
Sorry. Oh, dude, that was hilarious. All right. Let me tell this one, all right? For those who missed it, all right, BlizzCon was like streaming all their events live, and they were like, oh, we're gonna have Metallica play live on Twitch during our BlizzCon event, right? But Twitch was like, oi, we can't get a DMCA, mate. We need to do something, right? So as soon as Metallica started playing, right, they muted their performance and played freaking chiptune music over their entire performance. Oh, it was brilliant. Dude, that is some sweet justice. Yo, it took 20 years for them to feel the blowback of their copyright craziness. But yo, worth. It is a VOD I will cherish. Watching these schmucks trying to play music with this god-awful chiptune music just blocking out everything they're trying to accomplish. It's hilarious. Explain to my membrane. Okay, alright, now, for those who don't know, back in the day, Metallica was one of the main proponents of pushing forward copyright law all over the internet, okay? Basically, because of the whole Napster thing. Of course, since then, copyright law has run amok, ruining basically any fun people would possibly have on the internet. Well, I mean, copyright is kind of important. Yeah, I get that. And copyright law should be there to help out artists who actually need money, okay? Not the ones swimming in it already. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, but hopefully the industry will realize how bad things have become, because, yo, when copyright stops artists from playing their own music, you know, things have gotten janked. It is so messed up. Boy, speaking of copyright, I was watching that pumpkin guy, right? He mentioned there were like all these old Phony the Squirrel apps on iPhone back in the day. Look, we didn't make those. Yeah, there were, and I didn't authorize any of them, or make a single cent. See, that's where copyright law would have been useful. And Apple was zero help in getting any of them removed back in the day. What did we send, like 20 requests? I think it was 36 and a half. Yeah, so, hey, devs who made unauthorized foamy games, you kinda owe us, okay? We could have used the money then, and we can certainly use it now. We're not rich. If you need tax returns to prove it, 2019, we made $26K adjusted. Yeah. Thanks, YouTube. And this is why I am now in charge of promoting for all support on Patreon is helpful, and the buying of goodies is helpful too. Those steely people taking money from us over 20 years makes me sad. Perhaps one day they could donate to us and rectify their ill-gotten gains from all our hard work.
Speaking of which, back to work.
I'm working as fast as I can! Aggravating. Anyway, Amazon decided to cancel the one Amazon original show I actually watched, which was Truth Seekers. So, yeah, that's gone. Nick Frost, Simon Pegg, I liked your show. I hope some other place picks it up. You know, that is sad, you know? I think it's biased against English actors or something. What? I don't know. It's like everything's a race issue in America, isn't it? So it's like I figured, you know, maybe if we're like, oh, they cancelled the show because England, and, you know, maybe they'd be like, oh, okay, let's have more representation of English people so we can virtue signal and all that, you know? It's kind of what America does right now, you know? Just like, oh, look at me, I'm inclusive. I don't even care anymore. Well, whatever. And it was one of the few shows I did like watching. I'm just saying. Yeah, well, you know what? You'll get over it as soon as you get your Kaijo hip whatever anime, okay? So you'll have fun with that and forget all about Truth Seekers. You know, you're not wrong. So yeah, we're gonna wrap this up with I still like Megadeth better than Metallica and people are thieves. But some people are good. But good shows get cancelled. Well, way to keep things positive.
Pilz-E?
I know! Back to work! I'm gonna need some serious coffee to get through all this. Animating sucks! He's not wrong. Everybody out there, stay safe, be well, wear a mask. The numbers are improving, okay? Let's just hold out a little bit more. We can all get a vaccine, kind of get back to normal. There's rumors, right, that if everyone gets on board here, right, like the summer can be like a normal summer. Like people haven't had a normal summer in years, mate. It's been a year, okay? Right. It feels longer than that, doesn't it? Like I feel like I've been stuck in a house for like a decade. Well, I mean, technically we have. 2 decades, actually. Yeah. I really think we worked too hard. I really do. I'm already doing all the work I can do! Not you, Pilz-E. You're doing fine. Alright, everybody just seriously be safe. I don't know. Play games. Whatever.